I grew up in a religious home, so I knew about Jesus from a young age. I went to church regularly, heard the stories from the Bible, studied from a Catholic school, and I even knew the right things to say when someone asked me about my faith. But looking back, I realized that I knew a lot about Jesus, but I didn't really know him personally. Family conflict arose that left me being alone with 2 kids and miles away from the family in the Philippines. I was spiritually, emotionally, and financially drained. With everything else failing, I turned to the Lord and cried out for help. And God's faithfulness started to become more and more evident. He provided a car for me when I had $80 in my pocket. My kids' Christian school bill was covered for a year. And just 3 months ago, when the kids and I were homeless, were nowhere to go, with 1 luggage and nothing in my pocket, I trusted that God was in control.
You are not alone. I won't let you go.
Not only did He provide an apartment, but God used the church family to furnish the whole apartment. I couldn't stop praising God. But back home in the Philippines, my dad was falling very sick. 14 long years since I last saw my father. 3 weeks in the hospital. Dreaded phone calls in the middle of the night. But I saw those wake-ups as God's giving me a chance to pray for my dad and for him to accept Jesus as his Lord and Savior. On August 21, 2024, I lost my father. The grief came crushing. I mourn alone, 1,000 miles away from home. The loss of my father while being far away was one of the hardest thing I ever experienced. But though it all, I was reminded of God's faithfulness. Even in my darkest moment, He was with me, comforting me, reminding me that I was not alone. I may not have been say goodbye to my father in person, but I believe that he knew how much I love him. And though the pain of loss remains, I find peace in knowing my father is with the Lord. And that one day when my work here is done, we will see each other again in a place where there is no more sorrow, no more separation, only joy and eternal presence of God. God doesn't promise us a life without trials, but He does promise to be with us through every single one of them. He strengthens us even when we feel weak. He gives hope when all seems lost. And He uses every storm to form us in a way we never could have imagined. I often reminded of the song "Christ is my firm foundation," the rock on which I stand. When everything around me is shaken, I never been more glad. I still got joy in chaos. I got peace that make no sense. I put faith and trust in Jesus. To God be all glory and praise.